Hello there and welcome to the Academy of Historical Fencing. This is a relatively short video, sort of a quick review and first look at the synthetic Zweihander Montante from Black Fencer. So we ordered a batch of these, various different designs and models all in one go, both because we really like big swords and also we are running various blocks on the use of the larger swords. So we wanted to get a batch in. So we ordered some of their steel swords and also ordered synthetics in roughly the same specification so we could use them for higher contact drills and some light sparring as well. Now this particular sword is the one I ordered for myself. It's the sword with cat hair on it. It's the Flamberge blade. I unfortunately can't fit it all onto the screen in one go, but I will take some photos of it. So it's the Flamberge blade, two-hander. I believe it's listed as the Montante on their website. And then you have the option of choosing what they call their Zweihander sort of battle sword type crossguard with the double D rings and the little extra details. So being as the German stuff is my interest primarily, I wanted to go for this style. But I also asked to have the sword made larger than normal. So if you order the Flamberge blade from Black Fencer, the default Flamberge blade is actually slightly shorter than their Montante. So their straight bladed Montante is a little longer. So I asked them to make this, but in the same with the same dimensions as the Montante. So I can't remember the exact difference, but I think it's about 10 centimeters extra length. And you'll notice standing next to me, it's almost, it's not quite, I've slightly beaten it in terms of height, I think, but it almost matches my height. And the really cool thing with this one is it's only 10 grams heavier than the standard Flamberge. So they quite clearly sort of tapered the blade a little better, so honed the profile down so that there wouldn't be too much weight in the tip. The resulting sword is actually a really nice handling, sort of lightweight Zweihander, and it handles way better than we ever expected. So the flex, and it's got flex in the blade. Come over here. Not a huge amount of flex, although as a synthetic, when it makes contact, it does flex enough, but not a crazy amount. But it doesn't kind of whip and bend around like the original Montantes did that we bought, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. So it still retains its shape as you're moving it, which allows you to swing without the blade flopping all over the place. The grip stays relatively firmly, so it stays in it's reasonably stiff. Well, very stiff actually. So you can cut without the whole sword sort of bending and wobbling in your hands. And we've actually used these for sparring. So we've done some scenarios, sort of defending the flag sort of stuff with 6 to 8 soldiers with Zweihanders, sort of all clustered around the flag. And we were able to use it for sensible, controlled sparring. So by that I mean you don't go swinging it around like you might see in some of the manuals talking about Montantes and big flourishes and rotations, keeping it shorter and controlled, which you'd need to in a smaller group. It was perfectly fine for sparring. If you want to take it a little bit further than that, you're going to need to obviously control your contact and make sure you're properly armoured for it as well. But it is a usable sword for sparring, which is nice. I'll post the link to the actual sword and the list of specifications that I asked for in case you want to get something similar. But I think they really did an excellent job. It's way better than I was expecting. That the Flamberge, kind of the flaming sort of sword design looks really cool. The parrying hooks, nice and safe. They're rounded. You can half sword it. You can grip just below the parrying hooks, even with decent sized mittens or sort of thox, pro gauntlets, all that kind of stuff. Compatible with all of those. Just overall, really solid sword. I ordered it with, I believe this is a dark brown wire wrap, and I also ordered it. It's coloured. It's not the gold. I believe it's called bronze or dark bronze. Just bring it a bit closer. You don't have to order it with the coloured finish, and it does add a chunk to the price, but I really wanted the extra fancy colour, primarily, just pop over here, because I ordered the steel at the same time, and you can see it's designed to match the exact size and spec of the steel sword. So here is the steel version, which I'm trying to be really careful with so I don't go hitting the ceiling. So you can see the steel version, really nice. I got the extra leather wrap behind the parrying hooks because I wanted a sword that looked like it could have been used on Flesh and Blood with old Rutger Hauer. So yeah, you've got the steel sword that you can drill with and go through some very basic sort of controlled sparring drills, but then the synthetic you can bring out and actually play with it properly, which is quite nice, because ultimately you want a sword that you can use, not just look at. So I will do a separate review on the steel sword, but annoyingly they won't fit onto the screen. Let's try this. There we go. So that's the two swords, so the synthetic and the steel Zweihanders from Black Fencer. They're very nicely matched. If you wanted to get a pair, by all means go ahead and buy them. I don't believe they do a steel Flamberge yet though, so I had to order the straight bladed, same as the Montante. If I had the choice, I would have had Flamberge for both. But really good sword. I've only had it for a matter of a few months, but so far everybody that's picked it up and swung it around has absolutely loved using it. So big thumbs up from me. I think for the amount of money that it costs, which is not a huge amount, it's a really good bit of kit. And again, any questions about the steel or the synthetic Montante, Zweihanders and the rest of their kind of big swords, pop them in the comment section below. Happy to answer any questions you have. And thanks for watching the channel.